Hello, hello. Do you mind saying something?
Yeah. Hello.
Okay, I think it's working. So, hi everybody. I'm Jaime from Evil Warnings, and I'm here today with Steve Tucker from Morbid Angel.
How you doing?
Thank you so much. I'm shaking his hand now. You can't see, but well, anyway, thank you for giving me some time to talk a little bit.
Pleasure.
So, yeah, my introductory question, I guess it was going to be about that I had kids a year ago, and I missed your show last time you played here, and probably I'm going to miss it tonight again. But anyway, here we are. Do you have kids, by the way?
Yeah, man, I have kids. My kids are all grown now, man.
How old, if you don't mind?
My youngest is 15 now.
Oh, okay.
So my son's 18. I mean, yeah, man, it's easy now. It was hard then.
So were you kind of like pretty active with music back then when you had your kids?
Yes, it was, my son was born around Gateways. My daughter was born around Heretic.
Wow.
So yeah, man, I was definitely active in the music industry, and it definitely caused me a lot of problems, at home.
So it's challenging for everybody, I guess.
It is, dude.
Kids.
It's hard, man.
Yeah.
Having kids, to me, it's one of the biggest responsibilities on the planet that nobody takes seriously. It's kind of odd.
So you think it's probably the hardest thing you've done?
Man, taking care of yourself's hard. Taking care and being responsible for other people is ridiculously hard. It can be suffocating at times, but in the end, you always seem to make it through.
That's true. Are they into what you do with Morbid Angel?
Nope,
or no?
Not at all.
War Father or any of those?
Not at all, dude. No, my kids don't like metal. They're not interested. They're not. I mean, they were exposed to it their whole life. To them, it was it's part of the background noise. So yeah, I don't know. It's not. I think metal's something you find. You know what I mean? And I think, always being around it, that sort of made them a little overexposed.
Yeah, I used to hate it at first too, and because I was getting into the wrong bands at the wrong time, I started like pretty heavy, and it's like, God, man, I can't get into this stuff. It's too crazy. But then slowly went back to the basics, climbed the ladder.
Yeah, metal's sort of a stepping stone. I mean, for me, at a very young age, it was, Iron Maiden and Judas Priest and things like that. Now I guess, a band like Morbid Angel or Dying Fetus could be the very first band you ever hear.
That's true.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I think kids now get into really heavy stuff quick.
Yeah.
So, well, anyway, so we're here. You guys are gonna play. It's kind of the presentation tour of Kingdoms Disdained, the new album.
Yes, sir.
And like from the very beginning, like the first time I listened to it, I kind of got like the feeling that it's some kind of like punk Morbid Angel. It's a little bit more kind of like concise, and I don't know. It kind of like went like a full blast. I
mean, I think it's pretty attacking from the beginning. So I guess I understand where you're coming from with that. It's definitely an all-out assault. I definitely think Kingdoms Disdained is a very intense album.
And there are no interludes or anything.
No, I actually think that it just wasn't necessary. The songs just flow from one to the other so nicely that it just was not necessary. Usually, you do an interlude to change the mood or something, and there was no need for that, man.
Did you guys try to make some kind of a statement, like making it like concise to the point, like it hits you like bricks, instead of like fucking around with some other experiments or something like that?
Man, I still think it's experimental. I don't think that there's a Morbid Angel album that exists that isn't experimental. I think that
That's
all
true.
the experimentation is still there. The delivery is definitely very intense. So it wasn't something that was talked about or decided. I just think it was the nature of the things at the time and the chemistry of the people involved.
And how do you feel coming back? I mean, you've been in Morbid for so long that I guess coming back was like, hi.
Man, very normal. It's very normal. I mean, I think that it's just very normal. I mean, we got right into the process. So, getting right into the process, you really you dive into it and you're working on it, and you're not really thinking about how things are going, because things are just going along well. You know, only time, you know, when things aren't going well, that's when you start to sort of think, oh, how is this going? But man, it's not something that's been talked about or discussed or thought about at all. Things have just flowed really well.
That's cool, I guess. Yeah, that's like a band, how a band should feel, I guess.
Normal,
and you've been a little bit more busier than in other albums, because you wrote all the lyrics, I think, this time. I was checking.
I wrote lyrics on previous albums as well. I mean,
but in this one you take, all the lyrics are yours.
I think so. I think so. And man, you know, it's just one of those things where, you know, the process happens the way it happens. Nobody said you write all this or you do that. It was really about making the album, and, you know, making the album as great as it could be. And you know, process just happened the way it did.
And I have to say, I really like the lyrics, and I got some titles and some ideas, like, for example, Piles of Little Arms. When I read it, to me, I'm from Spain, so it made me feel about the conquistadores that came, like all these, you erase whatever we have here, you come and take over.
And that still goes on. I mean, now they do it in, you know, more obscure, you know, places. They have to go deeper in the jungles to find those people to rape. You know what I mean? But it's still there. You know, I mean, it's an interesting thing, because I mean, that's really how religion sort of finds its next generation. You know what I mean? They find these people and sort of gift them, you know, God, and you know, now they have their next generation of believers. You know?
And it's a little bit kind of what happened with metal shows, that there are places that you can't play shows, you can't do this. They're trying to erase metal, so people need to follow something else, what they want, whatever it is.
It's been like that for how many years now? I mean, I've been told, you know, metal was dead since, I don't know, man, fucking 1985. You know, metal wasn't cool anymore or whatever. Who gives? It's all bullshit. You know, it's all, you know, metal was never a trend, dude. Trends come and they go, they die. You know, metal is a way of life for many people in this world, and it's not going anywhere, man. It's here to stay, obviously. I mean, bands like Morbid Angel, DSI, Cannibal Corpse have been around like 30 years, man, and they're the most extreme of metal bands.
Yeah, they're now even crazier. But yeah, like what you were saying now, I just, like, that's what dragged me also into metal. That to me, it was like a complete circle, because it's kind of a mix of mythology or something like that. It's not just the music that's the first time I got a package that was like, wow, from cover, lyrics, like a lot of stuff to investigate.
Yeah, man. Luckily, you know, things like vinyl are making a comeback, and people now do have things to actually hold in their hand and read and look at. I think it's a great thing, man. You know, I guess digital music had become way more popular than actually purchasing a CD, but that seems to have changed now. People are buying vinyls and you know, CDs and stuff again. They want that product. You know? Yeah,
of course. And this one, the new album, especially the cover. Just to put it on the wall. If you don't want to play the vinyl, just like, it's really good.
I think it's pretty deep, and I think the more you look at it, the more you understand it, and sort of feel what's going on there, man. I think Ken Coleman did a fantastic job. I think he's a fantastic artist, and man, I think that, you know, 10 years from now, he'll probably be an extremely well-known artist.
Yeah, because you worked with him in Warfather.
He did album cover for me before, but it was nothing like what he did for Kingdoms Disdained.
I didn't know. I didn't.
You know,
put them together. So.
I mean, you know, art's one of those things that, you know, it's about inspiration, and I think, you know, him being able to do a Morbid Angel cover, he was extremely inspired. You know, and I think he really did something amazing.
So do you think the album and especially just because of the cover, which I kind of get this idea like the earth is mad and suddenly this creature comes and it's like, I'm gonna fuck you all, you've been fucking with me for so long, I'm gonna destroy you all.
Yeah, that's really sort of the idea.
So it's like I guess it's a reflection of what you guys maybe are you kind of angry at things that are happening? You see that it's a little bit more turmoil?
Man, I don't know if it's so much anger or observation. I mean, it comes across as anger, but it's really just an honest observation. You know, it's difficult. I mean, I've had a lot of people ask me, are these lyrics, meant to be political? I think to be political, you must show an opinion. And I don't think we're showing an opinion. We're just showing the truth. The world's a disgusting place with disgusting creatures on it who do disgusting things to each other. And maybe they're, the idea of it being wiped clean is not such a bad idea.
We are all, I consider myself somebody disgusting.
Sure, man. We all do things that we're like, why did I do that?
Yeah, and like, it's like a little bit like when people think like about a alcoholic or somebody like that, and it's like there is a lot of people down there like homeless in this area.
Sure.
Like, we are all humans. How can you like you cannot put all that responsibility into us because we're designed to fail.
Everybody has to be a little responsible for themselves as well. I mean, you can't fix everybody. I don't even want to. I mean, I don't want to police the world and tell people how they should or shouldn't live. I mean, just like the lyrics, I'm just observing.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
That's cool.
I'm observing and I'm writing about it at times.
And you did pretty well. I love the lyrics. I have some other titles like For No Master, which I think it was some kind of reflection of authority, what it does.
That's the idea that, there's always some new magical leader that appears, gives a magical, beautiful speech, and promises the world, and then does nothing.
Yeah.
And they just happen over and over, and people fall for it over and over, because they're hopeful, But For No Master means, it's about yourself, it's about an individual. It's not about trying to find someone to save you. That's for pathetic people, in my opinion.
And especially like you co-wrote 2 tracks. I think it's Declare New Law and For No Master. They sound like Morbid Angel, and it might not be hard for you, but I think it has to be hard to write something that sounds like.
I spent a lot of years a part of this band. I spent a lot of years talking with Trey and and listening to Morbid Angel as well, man. And I think that there's I kind of think that there's a natural. When I'm in Morbid, it's Morbid Angel.
No, they sound like Morbid Angel, and I love how you. Well, in the whole album, or like all the albums that you've made, I like your phrasing. It's very. It matches the music very well. It's not like sometimes, in death metal, sometimes the lyrics just fall. Yeah. Okay, throw them there, and and it's hard to follow. And even if the time signatures are weird, something weird is happening, the voice.
Man, they're still songs. They're music, man. I mean, it's still songs. So, you want it to be something musical. And when I'm writing lyrics, I try to be musical. I don't try to just write as many words or just write words and then make them fit. I never do that. I'm always trying to do something, with a nice flow to it. A nice rhythmic flow.
Cool. All right. So, are you, because Morbid Angel always had like all these symbols, all these like mythological stuff, like even the I think they're called. Are they called Asaku, the statues that you have on stage?
Oh, the Bueller songs? Yeah, the statues on stage.
So are you kind of like a little scholar of occult and like history?
I'm pretty knowledgeable about it. I tell you, a lot of the Sumerian stuff, really Trey dove real deep into it, man, and was studying it for quite a long period of time before formulas, man. And so some of the things I really learned during the process of making formulas, Yeah, man, I personally believe that there are a lot of ancient symbols and things of power that are ignored now, that are overlooked now, that are actually maybe mocked even now. There's a song on the album called Architect and Iconoclast where it talks about the gods being mocked. When you turn something from a god status, to a mythology. Now you're saying, so it's actually being mocked. You know what I mean? And I think a lot of ancient ways are mocked and said to be barbaric or silly, but we seem to live in a time where barbaric things have come back around, and are here in our face once again.
Yeah, that's true. All right, so I'm just curious about how did Scott join the band? if you know something about it, or you had something to do about it.
We were actually really Trey decided Scotty would be the right guy, man. He was doing videos of the songs. You know, we had a few people doing videos of themselves playing songs, and then some of the people that got through the quote unquote first round, you know, they started working on new songs. You know, we sent them, Trey sent them stuff of the new songs, riffs and things like that they started working on, and really honestly, I guess every single time Scotty kept being the guy who rose to the top, man. It's really weird. Scotty has a very Pete Sandoval vibe about him when he plays.
It's amazing how, because I'm used to seeing him with Abysmal Dawn, like, and wow, sounds like the feels, like the way the drums are tuned. I guess you need to play with that, but
yeah, he does a great job, man. Scotty was the right choice.
And I don't know if he lives here. You are from Ohio?
I live, yeah.
So how do you guys...
Airplanes, bro.
So you
airplanes and internet. You know, when we were working on the album, you know, I mean, we would send stuff back and forth through the internet. I mean, we live in a time where you can get a humongous file in a matter of seconds. So yeah, we took advantage of that. You know, and then when it came time, we all got together and started working on stuff in Florida.
Okay, all right. And for you as a bass player and the vocalist, like, what is the biggest challenge, like, that you feel even after all these years of being Morbid?
Being able to hear every night on stage. That's the biggest challenge of everything about this, man. Since I was a kid and started doing this, you know, being able to hear on stage, that's the biggest issue.
Yeah, I can I think about it, but I can imagine.
You know, stages are built differently, man. You know, some stages are hollow underneath, some are solid, and they all sound different. So the biggest challenge is being able to hear yourself. You know, if you and hear others, and you know, be on time always.
And how what do you think you need to be? Well, it's a kind of stupid question. Very committed to being a band like Morbid Angel. How's the commitment to being a band like this?
100%. I have to be, man. If I'm not, I've never been a guy that could be in 2 or 3 bands. I know a lot of guys do it, and hey, that's cool. I don't have a problem with it at all. It's just something I was never able to do. I have to really focus. Man, I was told a long time ago by a woman that I'm either 100% on or I'm 100% off.
For everything, I guess.
For everything. And that's just me, I guess. That's what I am. You know? Either I love you or I probably don't hate like you at all.
Well, that's good, I think. I guess, like, halfway never really does anything. So.
No, I mean, either I'm passionate about it or I'm not at all. You know, so
that's good then. And I have to say, I always, like, you know, especially everything what Morbid did till you came. I think you're one of the very few vocalists that kind of come into a band, and I feel that you've created a new era that I don't know if I think overall, like, people respect a lot, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't come in trying to change Morbid Angel. I think for that fact alone, a lot of people appreciate it. You know, I think if you come in and you completely try to change things, it was never necessary. Morbid Angel's an amazing band. You know, I didn't need to change anything. I just needed to fill a role, play, you know, be the bassist vocalist.
And do you think you made, like, created a little bit of a change? I mean, you're a new person.
Man, I'm a real deal person, bro. What you see is what you get. I mean, I'm not full of a bunch of bullshit. I'm not, you know, I'm not going to try and look pretty because I'm ugly. You know what I mean? I'm not going to try and look ugly if I'm pretty or something. You know, I mean, I'm me, dude. I'm the real deal, and I think people can pick up on that. You know, I think that you know, some people, man, they act like certain things, and other people really are certain things.
Okay, so and I don't know. I've never really read about this, but like, can you tell me how you joined Morbid? Like, what happened? What was the link?
Really, honestly, the link was a guy named Jason Bybrooks, who used to play in a band called Grip Incorporated. Now he plays in Exhorder. He's a friend of mine. He was on tour with Morbid when, and then knew about the David thing when it happened, and sort of butted his nose in and kept pushing it until next thing you know, Trey and I were talking, and I ended up going to Florida and auditioned. You know, but honestly, it was him. He was sort of the middleman who, you know, sort of really honestly pushed it to happen.
So you didn't know any of the guys before?
Man, I'd met him at a show, things like that. You know, a long time ago, man, I used to tape trade. I think Mike Browning sent me a tape. I think Trey sent me a tape one time. But that was really, really long time.
Yeah.
Like 1987 or 8.
Yeah. Well, well, I think I don't want to spend more time. The last question is, what's your favorite Morbid Angel that you are not part of?
Oh, Covenant, man, is a crowning moment. For me, man, Covenant is it's a great album. It's just a fantastic fucking album. From Rapture to God of Emptiness, man, it's just what a goddamn album. You know what I mean? So yeah, I definitely would say my favorite non-Steve Tucker Morbid is definitely Covenant.
And how was kind of like joining a band like Morbid? Because I guess you were a fan.
You know, I'm a cocky asshole, bro. So it really, I mean, I always get asked that I feel pressure that I've been in, and the fact is, no, I didn't, because I'm a pretty cocky person. I believe in myself wholeheartedly and believe, hey, man, you know, yeah, David Vincent kicks ass, but so do I. You know what I mean? Like, that's just the way I've always been, man. You know, I honestly don't even know why. It's just who I am.
But that's a good philosophy.
I think it is. It works.
That's something that I envy from people, because even if I know that I can do something well, I always say, like, I need to be a little bit more like.
Yeah, man, I'm one of those guys that I think about something, and then if I decide in my head, can I or can't I? And if I decide I can, then it's going to happen.
Okay.
You know?
All right. Cool. Well, thank you so much.
Right on, man. My pleasure.
Thank you for spending time with me, and hopefully I'll see you again.
Right on, bro.
Live, hopefully.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Kids are a little older.
I know. I'll bring them, I guess.
Sure.
Thank you.